Your voice, your opinion, your community. Fact TV, free speech, protected.
The following is an independently produced program. The views and opinions expressed are entirely those of the producer and do not reflect those of Falls Area Community Television, its staff, or board of directors. Take a deep breath. Remember this is public access and carry on.
Thank you. Hi, this is your host, James Bourke, TV show. Now, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff today if we can. First, I want to thank Ben for the past year. He took me to Hampton Beach, and we come back on, I'm not sure it's Tuesday or Wednesday, and that was a pretty fun day. Now I'm gonna look forward to the summertime because we're gonna start open swimming pools. and I was everybody good job last weekend in the 34th, 31 of 32 summer games in UNH. They had a good time there. Now let's get to Mindale. First, I want to say there's been, like I'll say many times, there's been one of bowling shows on TV and 10:05 as well. June 1958, October 4th, Saturday at noontime. And it lasted to January. There was an episode first on Friday at 7:30 to say goodbye to people from 10:05 in Boston. Like all the ballers. And I want to thank, and Saturday, there's been one person to step on the alley was John Senegi and Dear Francis of Pastor, New Hampshire. First, I want to say congratulations to Jack Way for getting all those marks in every single box of the middle strand. And so he got the highest total. And of course, I want to thank Paul Bourke he's got the high table like 500. Yikes. And that was a wonderful day to everybody who was watching on WCUB. And I'm gonna say it one more time. Dumb bad did Canopan Bowen featuring competition, and it went over to Dan Gillis. And Dan Gillis took it over. The host, number one, was my favorite guy. Man, Dan Gillis. And I met him twice. And for weapon person director, and on the WAP line, getting the worst pants and balls, old piece of word when it came out to the damn line. After it does, it have to be removed because it could stay there. And when it's behind the demo line, it stays. And our video, yes, on the tonic scoreboard, keeping score by computer on the tonic scoreboard. And of course, Keith Williams on the big board for the folks here, the gallery are watching. And see if they can catch the mistakes they make. And Don Wally, coordinator and coordinator and side assistant. And this one, Blaine Howard, behind the cameras, behind the scenes. Like every time they get a mark, they show motion replay on that. And I want to thank the television station, Sarah Wicca for choosing Dan Gillis' no home on the Atlantic, Massachusetts. And Ralph Stewart, Wapon Dots, and Ralph away and get the worst pants and balls at Pitcher Ford again when it comes behind the demo line, past the demo line, at Pilgrim Lanes, here from Massachusetts. And for the live Temp show, everybody did a wonderful job, superb job at the Pilgrim Lanes in here from Massachusetts. Alfie August, Wade August, on Sundays. Wade on Saturday nights, or sometimes Sunday nights. It depends when it is. And I want to thank again Hayden for canopin doubles of the Phonetic Massachusetts. Instead for 2 games, they have they did have 2 games. I'm sorry about that. And every bowling show was kind of different. And I got some notes from for weapon person director. They're doing okay, except for Don. And Don was Mrs. Garris was part of her son for doing for doing canopy bowling all for this years. 40 years. Wow. On the tower 1, we caused a Bourke on the TV work Tuesday and canopy bowling. And I want to thank Pilgrim Lanes here from Massachusetts and Pike Pass Lanes in Wyndham, New Hampshire for canopy skins and canopy stars and strikes. I want to thank my 2 friends, Doug Brown and Dan Murphy. And of course, the last 2 was Dick Rust and Mike Martin. And he worked for WNDS TV 50. You're watching the wins of my weekend. For Wheaton Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. And everybody told me some people were there 5:30 in the morning. That's too early for me. So I got there at 7. And the cremator was there all day. They set up the day before when they had bone taping on 10:50 from Derry, New Hampshire. You're watching the winds of my weekend. Oh, and we had strike-ins, spares, canopy skins, and spares, canopy stars and strikes. And we had our 2, Gary Carrington, and that one was Gary Chantor. But that was for 10:07 in Boston. And that was a different channel. And I want to thank, if it's okay, I want to thank Ray Cinnamon and Joe Howard and Senior System and Kevin my phones, and Kevin again, and for taking Mike and Dick, for Cannabis Stars and Strikes, Mike and Dick, for taking over the show. 98, October 12th, and 2005, September 5th. And like that on Stars and Strikes. And last one is my favorite, Frank Barbecourt and Mike Mullen. Wow, I want a TV show so you can toast from. The tape show, you can watch that twice, cause it's the first one is live, and from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. and that our show, noon time. No, actually, take that back. 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. And I want to thank people in the truck for getting the equipment out like the day before the taping on Tuesdays, once a month, and the 2nd of the month. That means the worst Tuesday of the month, 8 times. And the one we can forget is mixed doubles format. Men's and women's mixed doubles. And okay, enough of that. Now let's talk about supplementals. And I want to thank Mike Saucy, Peter Tanney, and Bill Hope. They also did a good job on the Special Olympics. Every summer for the early games and the summer games. And I want to say, I'm sorry to Lisa Morley for her loss of her dad, Bonnie, who we loved before. He was the coach bowling on Mondays or Tuesdays. And I can't forget, I want to say hi to my co-host, if I can, to Jessica. Jessica, yes. She's a girl host to me, and I like to keep her of a co-host if I can. But not, maybe next week. We have to wait and see what happens. And I'm stuck on the ends. And I was on the team of my dad. And when I was at the Special Olympics, my dad was to go home for a second to tape the Bowen show. Was on 10:05 on WCUB. And I remember those days. Now let's talk about the Dukes. That was my favorite show. The Dukes of Hazzard. Because Mrs. Tisdale was on it. Seth Weddle. Cletus. Ennis. Buzz Hogg. And Kuda Dumberport and Lowell Hawk and Holy Hawk. Oh, brother. I know them on TV. And I got the John away from Kuda Dumberport's garage. And I'm not sure it's Hazzard County or New York. Yes, and don't forget to say hi from Moscow. That's just a summer joke. Oh, and by the way, I want to thank a couple of my people. If it's not been for the series, we never had a good time on the 4th of July. Nancy Cody, Carol Cody, Carol Green, Debbie Cody, Frank Cody, and Finney Sterry, who like to come visit us a lot. And I can't forget Alex Newhouse, Jeff, and Tim, and Larry Sterry, and Wappy, Larry, and Beck Larry, and Tansy. I'm sorry about Tansy because he was a nice puppy to Larry Sterry. And Cheryl, how can I forget her? Yikes. And my daddy liked Karen Carpenter, the Carpenters. And I like Tina Turner. I take a pic of the song. Oh, that's funny. And I know, and the summer we go summer, and I'm happy about that. And one more guy I forgot to mention, thank Cody a lot for the permits every single summer. I'm not sure it's May or June we had them. Oh, and the Warriors And hi, Sean and Winnie. Nice to meet you. After Jenny, Uncle John, Stacy, Boss, Nick, and on the window. No, thank you. No worry, thank you. And one guy left. He did the masses at Mom's house on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. And you know who that might be? Uncle Bob. Whoa. Uncle Bob, I miss you very much. But I work at your picture to remember you. And I want to say hi to the staff and counting my Christmas course and meow. And next week we're gonna be on like we did today. Next Wednesday, 1:00 start. To then be safe and say bye.